The Twilight Masquerade set will have a new card coming out called Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX, which might be one of the more splashable attackers since Radiant Charizard with its 260 HP, colorless typing, and ability Elder's Technique. This Pokemon's Bloodmoon attack costs one less colorless for each prize card your opponent's taken, which means this card only becomes more powerful throughout the game and as we reach the late game. For 5 colorless energies, Bloodmoon does 240 and this Pokemon can't attack next turn. My name is Rahul Reddy, and today we're going to be looking at the Japanese YouTube channel to see the Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX deck in action. I hope you guys enjoy. Check out their channel and the video itself on their website. There will be a deck list at the end if you guys are interested, so you guys can grab that as we move forward. And other than that, just sit back, sit tight, enjoy the ride, and subscribe to my channel as well if you want to have some fun. So here we have the players talking about it a little bit. We see the matchup is Ursaluna into Arceus, something that's naturally flavored into Ursaluna because with Max Belt you can one-shot an Arceus V-Star. We're going to see a Pineco and a Bidoof being grabbed with the Poffin. I guess the idea behind this version is maybe we're going to explode ourselves with the Fortress, give up 2 prizes, set up our Blood Moon attack, get energy onto the board immediately, and start attacking as soon as turn 2. So turn 2 we can one-shot something like an Arceus V. 240 hits a majority of the EX and V Pokemon that are basics in the format. I think stage 1's teeter between like 260 to 280, more or less, and then stage 2s are like 310 to 340, 350. So we can take out a lot of stage 1s and basics, but I think any stage 2 deck will give us a lot of trouble. But that's where the Grass Energy comes in, and potentially Charizard, which is like the most relevant stage 2 attacker, might have something to say about that. We're going to see Ultra Ball getting a Bidoof as well. I think this is Arceus Giratina, given that I see a Psychic as well there. Lost City being put into play, and a Research. Nest Ball, yep, Arceus Giratina. The more conventional way to play Arceus, just like a very powerful way to one-shot some stuff. You get the one-shot of the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. If this Giratina goes down, the Giratina player's in a little bit of trouble because you have no way to one-shot the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. But here we can go ahead and Ultra Ball, set up, get a second Bloodmoon Ursaluna. This Fortress can go down, explode itself. Don't know what the ability is called, but I think it's like Everyone Explode Now or something like that. Put 3/3 energies. Now both Bloodmoon Ursaluna are powered up. The Arceus player gets 2 prize cards. It does get Lost City, which is kind of funny, so we can't rod that back. And if there's access to Countercatcher in this hand, this would be kind of insane because we can just get the Giratina. Bravery Charm puts us to 290. Oh wait, no, 310. That's actually really, really annoying because now Giratina can't one-shot that, and you have to go through 2 shots. But I think Arceus decks typically do play a Vacuum or 2. I don't know, it's cute too because now you're putting your opponent to a 4-card hand after giving them prize cards. But I think like something like a Boss's Orders would have just been cleaner to start the turn. But I guess it doesn't really matter because the second Blood Moon Ursaluna, I think you hope will have some form of damage modifier that will let you keep the game going. Whereas the Bib for 4, a pretty good Iono for 6 here, another Bravery Charm. So I guess that theory is out the window. We're just not going to go for one-shots anymore. There is the Great Catcher. We hit it. We're insane. I mean, I think we did see we saw 6 off the Iono. We saw 5 energy being pulled out of the deck. So -5 cards in deck. Plus 6 cards off Iono, and then like a +4 on Bib. So we saw like a total of 15 cards realistically in one turn, which is pretty crazy. So I think if you play more than one Great Catcher, I assume this list will, that you have more likely odds to see it than not. So now Arceus comes back up. We're going to be able to go for a 2-shot here. Squovit hits the board, a pretty clutch card, a Judge. Typical of Arceus decks. I think no other deck besides Arceus decks will typically play Judge. We're going to see the Aroma, Bibarel being grabbed, setting up for Squove Bibarel combos. We're going to go ahead and see a Bib for 4. And then we're going to see just an attack. No Starbirth, it looks like. I feel like Starbirthing for a Tina might have been fine here to establish that on the board because we have Vacuum plus Tina or something. Another Blood Moon Ursaluna hitting the board. Shaman. I think this is for Grass, you can snipe an EX or V for 60. I don't know what the second attack does. They're hiding it from me right now, but I think that's the only relevant attack. I think the second one's just 50. So I guess we can snipe for 50 after we hit something for 240, which is, I guess, pretty good math, all things considered. We're going to see the Boss's Orders bringing up the Arceus V. I feel like if we just, Starbirthed here, this wouldn't have been a problem. But I guess we also have access to... Now we have, look at this board state. This board state is absolutely disgusting from the Blood Moon Ursaluna player. You have 2 Bibarels and 2 Blood Moon Ursalunas. One that has 310 HP, one that has 260. But Arceus doesn't have any way to one-shot it regardless. No Tina, nothing. We're going to put back the boss and Iono, I think it looks like. And we're just going to retreat, not even giving up the prize card here and just taking the knockout. Which I think is fine. Like, you just put the pressure on your opponent because you can't attack next turn. And now, like, if the Arceus player has Starbirth for boss's orders, which they're just going to Ultra Ball away the boss, so I guess they won't have it. They're going to chase the new Bloodmoon Ursaluna anyway. Boss's orders up the old Bloodmoon Ursaluna just to take the free prize cards. I feel like if I'm the Arc player, maybe it's just fine to bring this one up and hit it, or just hit the active, because they can't attack again next turn. So why not just hit the active, force them to have switch plus a pivot. I think this has one retreat, maybe. So they might not have a pivot to attack you just again. And if that happens, you could just win the game anyway without having to burn a boss's orders. Looks like there's no more Giratinas in the deck, or we would have gone for it already. Like, I feel like we just are choosing not to use Starbirth for some reason. 2 prize cards now, so Bloodmoon Ursaluna can attack for 1. I think this guy's got free retreat. Never mind, I'm tripping. Nest Ball coming through. Let's thin. Another Pineco attached for turn. We're just looking for the max belt. Oh no, wait, the max belt doesn't work. What have I been saying this whole time? Someone should have corrected me. That's crazy. Max belt doesn't work on these guys. That's funny. So we're gonna see the Nest Ball now for another bib. Sharon's Care probably to pick this up, but the problem is you can't put another Arceus back down because boss or not counter catcher, but boss itself will lose you the game. And we did see our opponent Palpad back to boss with a ton of ways to draw cards and resources, so you just can't put it back down. We're gonna see the Penny from the Bloodmoon Ursaluna player, which I think makes a ton of sense. I think Penny is like probably one of the more obvious cards in this deck, just because like you want to recycle your attacks as much as humanly possible. And Bloodmoon Ursaluna has 3 retreat cost, so like being able to Penny means you can basically put the attacker down in like late game like this. I assume there's like a switch or 2 in here as well, especially with the barrel engine, because like the barrel could get stuck in the active and you want a way to pivot it. We're going to see Roma Heads getting another barrel. Both board states are pretty set up, but this is the big problem I always saw with like a deck that's centered around Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Like we're near the late game and our damage isn't reaching the numbers we want it to reach. Like we're in a situation where like, yeah, the damage isn't great. So we see the max belt coming in, which means we can hit for 230, which in most situations would be pretty relevant, but Bloodmoon Ursaluna is a big boy and has 260, which means that even max belt, like plus vacuum, doesn't win us the game here. Now we're just on a boss's orders to win the game. I guess boss's orders plus energy. We see the switch. Nice and clean. Back to the active. And just a Bloodmoon Ursaluna attack for game. Doesn't matter either. Switch gets us there. Kind of interesting. I want to see what the list looks like so we can see if there's anything we can add to it. Here it is. I'll let it go into the little freeze frame. 3 Bloodmoon, 3 Pineco. I feel like that's way too excessive. Like, I feel like we can just put in other attackers that are grass type or can benefit off of grass type attacks, or just like a base grass something. 1 Shaman. I like the free retreat option. I think that card's actually pretty cool. Maybe we put a Mew EX in here, because Mew EX can copy stuff and it's like a free retreater and helps you draw cards also. Like, more ways to draw cards I think is always good, and free retreat's also really good. I don't know if Hero's Cape is necessarily the best. I do agree that keeping Bloodmoon Ursaluna alive is crazy good, but 3 Charm puts us already at like 310 HP, and there's very few decks in the format that do 310 HP. Like, not a lot of things can do that. So why are we pressed about getting there? Like, why don't we just play, I don't know, max belt for more damage, prime catcher to just end the game. I like 3 counter catcher, that's really cool in the early game, but I think we do need a second boss probably. Somehow I think probably 2/2 splits better. I guess with Arvin it's easier to find. 2 Palpad also gets you there pretty fast. I like 3 Palpad, that makes sense to me. 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra makes sense to me with the barrel engine. This list is actually pretty good, I think, across the board. Like I like this quite a bit. No, this makes sense to me. I could see this deck being a fun deck to try out and play, but I think Bloodmoon Ursaluna is like reserved to be more of a tech card than it is a main attacker in a lot of situations. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was insightful in some way, shape, or form. And until next time, peace out. It's been fun.